Well, welcome back, everybody, to Sense of Humor's podcast, where we talk anything pop culture or anything that will interest us. We are your hosts, Phantom Voyager or Travis, and I'm also here with the other host, Tyler or Multimite.
What's up, everybody? That was probably a little difficult for you to kind of think for a second. Have you, because I know you've streamed a couple of times since you've done the name change, but have you kind of introduced yourself as Phantom Voyager to the audience as well at all, or did you just kind of go into the stream and just started streaming?
Um, well, at first, like my first stream after I changed it, I played the game normally, and then I saw my name pop up on a kill feed, and I go, "Oh yeah, FYI, I changed my name."
Uh,
So
yeah, after I can't remember if it was Split Sune or the name before that, but after that I just stopped notifying people like, "Hey, got news for you. I changed my name again." So, heads up. But yeah, no, after like the millionth time, I was just like, "All right, I'm done." But I think this is only like what your third name change cuz yeah,
yeah,
it was like Panther King and then it was let's see, Panther King, then Griffin Shock, and now Phantom Voyager.
yeah,
Or actually, before Panther King, you were Travis Rapids, but that was only for a little bit.
yeah. That was only just to get like a starter gamer tag thingy.
Yeah. But anyway, do we want to do um freaking
Put
small talk real quick, or do we want
oh
to just
oh yeah, we
get
can
right
do
into
some.
the topic?
We can do small talk if you want. So is there anything that's new with you, or anything that you would want to talk about today?
Kind of like, I mean, all I'll say it does have to do with my channel, not necessarily a rebrand. Like I'm still Multimite, like nothing like that. But I just have new ideas on how to make the channel look, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Like the kind of overall feel of the brand. Like I almost want to theme it, but at the same time, like kind of keep it under the theme of like I'm still like a wannabe superhero slash like you know up and coming content creator, but with like a more, I don't know how to say it really, just like with a brand that is pretty common or at least maybe a little bit more well known, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. Like,
Like
yeah, I get it.
I feel like with your new branding, it's gonna be, a flaming hockey mask, right? Like that's how
Hmm.
people are gonna identify you. Like for the most part right now, a lot of people see me as like, hey,
Hold on.
I'm a Spider-Man wannabe, so,
Oh,
and I'm fine with that cuz
go lay down.
Oh yeah, do you or actually I'll wait till he's back cuz I actually don't know.
Lay down.
Well, oh, you back?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was the
No.
dog and the cat's first interaction.
Ah, okay.
So,
So not positive?
we don't know so far. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
the dog and the cats, since they just saw each other, they both booked it and ran, so one another was chasing one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that probably your small talk you'd want to kind of bring up for the
Yeah.
audience?
Anyways, hey guys, yeah, I got a dog. Um, so yeah, we just picked her up today. Her name's Poe from Kung Fu Panda. She's a Beagle Labrador mix or Black Lab mix. Um, she's got like I'll describe her a little bit. She's all black with white fur on her paw. She's got a purple or not purple, sorry, a P on her chest and then so that's why her previous owners named her Poe. Um, but yeah, we just got her today, brought her home, and now the cat and the dog just introduced themselves. And as normal cats and dogs go at first, they obviously booked it and ran from each other. Um, so yeah, I guess the cat's now just chilling in my bedroom in the corner behind the mirror for now. Um,
Yeah, and no, not so sorry. There's someone in the chat. They're asking like, is it like my pet? No. So hi, I'm Multimite. I'm the one streaming it, but Phantom Voyager there, or Travis, he's the host of today's episode, and we're just doing some small talk before we get into the actual topic of the podcast. I appreciate the follow. I've had plenty of people want me to use their creator codes, though. Unfortunately, I don't do that because so many do, and I don't want to be unfair to anybody. So if you unfollow me for that, I understand. But thanks for the follow, and thanks for the visiting my channel, even if it's for a brief moment. But anyway, yeah, back to you. Yeah, I honestly have nothing
yeah.
big to talk about, really. So
Okay. Well, in that case, then we shall jump into the game and do the podcast.
sounds good. So
But yeah, I wanted to talk more about Marvel. Um, Mostly just like newer things that are coming out with it, or things I'm gonna like wish or want to see in the near future type things. Mostly for you, if you guys don't know, I love Marvel. I grew up with Marvel all the time. I grew up with Marvel and DC, I should say that. Um, but I liked them both, I guess, like equally, but like I kind of grew like by myself as a person before I met Tyler and the rest of our friend group. Um, I just stuck with like DC stuff. Um, and like they were into Marvel, and I'm not saying like I only went into it because you guys knew about it, but it was more so like I started to like I was already a fan of it before, and then I'm like, oh wait, my friend group likes the same thing I like, and we can it's something that we can all talk about. So I just veered more towards the Marvel direction while also keeping track of DC.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I think with
Okay.
Marvel though, because it's been more consistent, like and more like they didn't have as many reboots as like DC does right now. Like I mean, obviously they have like the three Spider-Men, but one of them is actually a part of the MCU, and then the X-Men are kind of, like now a part of the I guess you could say even yeah, like the previous MCU or Marvel projects are now a part of the Marvel universe because like I would say both Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, that kind of confirmed both of those things. So like,
Okay.
it's I would say yeah, I guess the earliest Marvel films now are I think the X-Men, unless Blade was before that, but I'm pretty sure the X-Men movies were before Blade. I could be wrong though.
I think Blade did come out before X-Men, but
Do you
it
remember
was
what year it came out?
I don't, but there's a beautiful thing called the internet, and I'll look it up. Oh, you're dead already. Okay, hold on. Oh, I dropped my phone.
I'll do that. Let's see. Cause yeah, I mean, you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that movie. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, Blade was in it, so
make kill
let's
this
see.
person that killed you.
Oh, actually, yeah, Blade was made back in 1998, and I'm pretty sure The first X-Men film was 2000. So
Yeah.
you are correct. Blade is technically the first, or maybe they'll go even further back, like with other older actors and such. Like, who knows? Like,
I mean,
the animated series of a lot of the
I was
like
about to
Marvel
say,
shows and stuff could potentially be a part of like the Marvel universe for all we know. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind anything like that. It would be a little bit of a weird excuse me. It would be a little bit of a weird twist, honestly. But at the same time, like, you can't help but
mm,
think, well, we're talking about a universe where, like, superheroes literally fight these threats that are beyond unexplainable, and, so.
yeah, so I looked it up. Yeah, sure, I guess I cheated. But anyways, I looked it up and I was like, I typed in what's the oldest Marvel movie, and it says the oldest Marvel movie in terms of the MCU, aka Marvel Cinematic Universe, um, is Iron Man, which came out 2008.
Yeah, but
But
again,
also, I
like,
guess
you
like this
gotta,
says right
that,
here, like Marvel movies oldest to newest, and it says number one is Captain America, and it came out 1944.
I was gonna say, because you also gotta remember, like, now that they've confirmed, like, Tobey Maguire's films and even Andrew Garfield's and all those are all technically Marvel canon now, just in different universes. So it may not be a part of the or the main quote unquote universe, but yeah, those are now technically canonized. But that is only because of the deals that Marvel has made with Sony, or the fact that they bought Fox, or at least portions of Fox that own the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. So, yeah, like, it will say Iron Man, but that was before they owned the X-Men and Spider-Man and all that. So, and Blade for that matter. So Blade is technically the oldest, if we are going to go as far as to say like what Marvel has confirmed as canon. Cuz, Blade was in Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Elektra was from the first Daredevil movie. So stuff like that. It all really depends.
So I'm curious to hear about Thunderbolts. So
Thunderbolts was, in my opinion, really good. I don't know if you've seen other people's kind of reviews, or um,
like
like in terms of the tomato meter. Like, have you seen anything along those
I
lines?
haven't seen anything with a tomato meter, but I have seen like I've not really seen, well, I have, but like seen and heard people say bad things about it and good things. It's more kind of like the Venom movie is what it was reminding me of, when a lot of people were saying, "Oh yeah, it's horrible," or "It's just stupid," but then it turned out to be an actually good movie. Um,
I mean,
so
depends on what Venom movie you're
like
talking
the
about.
first
I
one,
mean,
like when the
okay,
first
yeah,
one first came out, how
first one
like a lot of
came
people were
out.
skeptical. So
Well, and that's because in the comics, Venom is not a standalone character. Like, there is a universe, I guess, where he's considered standalone, but, like, the spider on his chest alone, like, just implies, like, Spider-Man's involvement with, Venom and everything. So I think, yeah, in terms of reviews, it is higher than Endgame and just right below Black Panther.
okay,
So it's the second highest rated Marvel film, I think, right now, which is pretty insane because that is, well, first off, I don't know if I agree with that, but that's, again, my opinion, my bias of being a huge Spider-Man fan. Like, I think my top five are like, No Way Home, Endgame, Civil War, Winter Soldier, and yeah, like maybe Infinity War, like just to
Okay.
name off my list. But that
Uh,
does not mean I would probably have it in my top 10, probably,
Okay.
because it is pretty good. It is a solid Marvel film and Marvel project compared to what we've been getting like the past few years. So, like, I think the last good thing we've gotten before this was like Daredevil and maybe like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, if that says anything. I mean, I also liked the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show, but I'm just going to go off of like what's kind of actually a part of the main storyline. Like, I don't even know if Daredevil would be considered a part of the main storyline. Like,
I mean,
same
he's part of the
universe.
Defenders. I feel like that's just like their own line.
Yeah, and I mean, they're the down to earth
The
line of
ground
defense
heroes.
against Doom. Yeah, like while the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and the X-Men actually take on Doom, like the Defenders are on the ground protecting the city from damage or crossfire or something. Like that's kind of how I picture them right now, but I do want to see them show up in
Born Again.
at least Secret Wars. Well,
Okay.
I mean, season
It,
2, there's already rumors of the Defenders. Like, in fact, from leaks that we've heard,
mm,
a lot of people are saying that season 2 will basically be Defenders season 2. So, if that's any implication, then we could be technically getting, like, all the Defenders coming back to help Daredevil take down Kingpin, which would be freaking awesome. But then there is the dilemma of like, hey, Wilson Fisk knows your identity, so like, is he gonna reveal it if you try and destroy his operations, or like it's that dilemma for him, and I'm wondering if he's in the mindset of like, I'll just be Daredevil right now. Like the city only needs Daredevil. Like the system doesn't work. It doesn't need Matt Murdock. It just needs Daredevil, which I'm fine with. Like, because I would love to see like a just Daredevil portion of the season or series, because for the first season of Daredevil Born Again, I feel like we didn't get to see enough of him in the cowl. Like, sure, we got to see
honestly.
some fight scenes out of it, but it wasn't enough to like kind of quench the thirst of seeing good old Charlie Cox back in his red suit. And I mean, heck, he's not even going to be wearing the red suit in the second season. He's going to be
Black.
wearing his black one, yeah.
Which I mean, I'm
Well, hey,
excited. I like the color style for it. So,
I was going to say, and we get the double D's on his chest finally. Took
right.
them long enough. But yeah, no, I'm not like after the first season of Born Again, I'm not skeptical. I'm excited. Like I have the excitement of a Marvel fan again, so I'm happy. I think Disney's letting Marvel do it right, especially in the mature ratings. Like, ever since the success of like Wolverine and Deadpool, I think they're willing to do more rated R projects and such. So,
Yeah.
and I'm totally all for it. Like, I mean, if they're willing to do it, I'm all for it. I want to see some darker stuff. And speaking of darker stuff, because I kind of went on a tangent about another series when you asked about Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is really good. It is also really dark, like the past couple of projects that have been worked on. So, like Daredevil Born Again and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I know there are probably plenty of people who don't like the darker sides of Marvel, but that's just like real life at that point. Like, it's
Yeah.
just it's getting more and more relatable. Like maybe not as brutal or like messed up, but like dark enough to where like, hey, that's messed up. I feel messed up, but then you see these hopeful heroes going in and fixing the problem, and that gives you hope that that can happen in our own world today. Like maybe not necessarily the hero part, but like, just believing that there's someone or even yourself can like fix a problem you're dealing with in your day-to-day life. It's just it's seeing a a problem escalate and people relating to that, and then it being resolved, and then giving people hope that they can resolve their own problems and such, or at least that's what I would say.
Okay.
So with Thunderbolts, though, and I'm pretty sure even the director himself has said this, but the movie itself, and I'm glad they did this because it's a very important topic, is it's a metaphor for depression. Like, a lot of the characters in the actual movie are depressed. Like, they're dealing with the thought of insignificance, or the thought of, like, I'd be better off dead, or the thought of, like, accepting death. Like, when they could easily step out of the way, instead they would rather just stand there and let it take them. Like, that was a lot of the vibe in the movie. Like, and I think that's important to touch upon, honestly, because admittedly depression's probably one of the biggest sources of problems for a lot of people nowadays. And I mean, like, just in the world we live in, it's hard not to be depressed, like, there's just a lot of things to be afraid of, or be sad about, or angry about. Like, there's just a lot more negativity than positivity. I mean, maybe people can argue me on, otherwise, but, like, I don't know. I just think depression in general is an important topic, and
It is.
like, people may say, like, well, why do you like this movie so much if it's literally a metaphor for depression? It's because, like, again, it's important, it's relatable, but it also keeps to a solid story and an undeniable, like, Marvel film. Like, it felt like a superhero film, kind of. Like, it felt more like if, like, people on the level of, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but
Ooh,
also
okay.
like maybe Captain America. Like, I think it keeps it really down to earth in terms of abilities. Like, there's not a lot of superpowers going on. Most of the characters are super soldiers themselves, or secret agents or whatnot, which I'm totally fine with, because originally I wasn't a huge fan of Yelena
Oh,
or
she's pretty
the
cool.
White Widow. Yeah, like, this movie made me like her character a lot. Like, I liked her in Hawkeye, and I thought she was funny in Black Widow, but this movie, like, made her the star, and I really like her character now. Like, I'm excited to see her as the new Widow, if that's what she's considered. Like, she's a really fun and cool character. Again, relatable too. Like, she, I don't know, she spoke things that just, like, kind of connected with me, but also just, like, you want to empathize and, like, relate with her character. Like, you'd be there to give her a hug if, she was right next to you. The character, not the actress. Like, I'm sure the actress is an amazing person too, but what I'm saying is, like, the character Yelena,
Yeah.
is, that's just how the movie makes you feel. Like,
Makes
and
you
then
makes you feel how, like, you have a connection and a bond with the characters, which I like when they do that.
exactly. And have you seen Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Oh, that's the one with Bucky. Yeah, well, yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the TV series. Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, so yeah, you'll get a lot of the references in there as well. Um, the U.S. agent, or the, like, new quote unquote Captain America before Sam, like, he's a part of it. I didn't like his character. Again, the movie changed my mind on him. Like, I like his character now. Like, I want to see more of him. I want to see more of Yelena. I want to see more of Ghost, who, again, I wasn't, like, the biggest fan of her. Like, I thought she was interesting in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but other than that, like, I was just like, she's kind of a throwaway villain. But then they bring her back and make her, a part of the Thunderbolts, and it makes her interesting. Like, very interesting character. And, like, I hope to see progression with her, Paul Walker, who's U.S. agent. Yelena, Bucky, like all the really good characters. And then another highlight I would have to say is Sentry, which honestly totally forgot he was even a character. Gonna be honest. I've seen him before, especially in Marvel Comics and I think a Marvel TV show if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, completely forgot he existed like as a character. But I'm glad that they highlighted him and everything in this movie because he is a very interesting character. Now, if people don't know much about him, I'll kind of do a brief summary. He's basically Marvel's version of Superman, but almost like if Superman and Hulk were kind of maybe even like Superman, Hulk, and Two-Face if they were all combined. That's basically who Sentry is. So he's a good guy, like he's a sweet character. Like I feel like he's very warm-hearted and everything, but he also has a dark side, and that's called the Void. And he's the villain. So like when he uses his powers, he can't help but slowly slip into becoming the Void. So it's kind of like Bruce Banner, but like if he was like just angry all the time anytime he used his brain, or if he was like Two-Face, where like he flips a coin and that's where he bases his decisions on. So yeah, Sentry's a really interesting character, and then the design of Void is really cool. Again, won't spoil anything.
Who's the main like villain in it? Like,
I would argue. So, do you remember the purple-haired woman? I can't remember her. Or Valentina. Like, do you remember her? She was in Captain America, or she was in, or yeah, she was in Captain America, I think, at the end.
I don't really
But
remember. I'll
she
look
was
her up.
also in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She was
Valentina
in
Marvel.
Black Widow. She was in Hawkeye, I think, briefly. But yeah, no, it's stuff like she was, I would consider the main villain, but technically it's Sentry. Like if we're gonna go off of actual actions, I would say it's Sentry. So
Okay, I'm trying to look her up so I can. Um, how do you spell it? Sentry.
VA, no, Valentina.
Oh,
Like
Valentina. Yeah, okay. Oh, Valentina, like Valentine, Valentina.
yeah, kind of like
Oh,
instead of an E at
her.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
She's
her.
kind of the main villain, I would say. So
Okay.
I don't know.
So,
That's just
okay,
go ahead.
this might be a spoiler, but like, I mean, it definitely is probably a spoiler. I want to know, so go ahead and say, what is up with like in the trailer they show like a shadow or like people turning into shadows or whatever on the
That's the
road.
Void.
That's the Void. So what does the Void's power do?
So he basically, how do I put this? He's basically like a character that can send people into a universe that shows their greatest regrets, basically, or like their greatest failures or something. Like it's something that makes you depressed. Like again, like that's kind of the point of the Void, and I think that kind of ties into the message of the film. But yeah, no, I would say that's probably the best summary I can give of the Void is yeah, like he teleports people into this dimension where they relive images of like past mistakes or whatever. So
So basically, he makes people go through like their own like nightmare of hell or something.
Kind of, yeah. Like again, they kind of relive that, that state of like regret and depression and sadness because like people want to get over that. Like some people are stuck in the past and everything, but at the end of the day, no one wants to be stuck. They just choose to be stuck, like it's it's a choice at the end of the day. And some people, like, it's harder for some people more than others, like there are a lot of people that can't get over a past trauma or trial or whatever thing they're going through, and that again is relatable. Like I understand that. I have been stuck in the past. Like um I feel like I've told this story before many times, but basically I was um I was really healthy at one point. Like I lost a lot of weight. I started at like 189, and through my health journey because I was like happy and I was motivated,
Yeah.
I got down to like 140 pounds. So I lost
Wow.
almost 50 pounds of weight because I was just happy and I was moving on. But then I won't say anything because it is kind of personal, but basically, I went through something that caused me to break the cycle of health and just kind of fall into this pit of despair and like comforted by like simple pleasures like food and stuff like that. And that's where I gained all my weight back. And you know, I mean, I haven't gained all of it back. Like I'm at 170, I think, but that's besides the point. I just wasn't happy for the longest time, and then, as soon as I'm at the mindset again, I don't have the discipline anymore or the motivation, I guess you could call it,
Okay.
anymore. Like I'm getting there. Like I have lost I think 10 pounds in the past 2 weeks. So I'm not too like bad right now. I'm actually a lot happier than I have been in like a year or so.
Well, that's
Not to
that's
say
good though.
I was gonna say not to say that I was like in a state of depression or anything that anyone should be worried about either. But what I am saying is like, I was just in a dark space at one point, and I've gotten over it finally. And it took a while to get out of that dark space. So, but now that I have, I can move on, and that's I feel like kind of what the message of the story kind of touches upon. It touches upon like in order to move on or in order to like grow, you need to like move forward, because if you get stuck in the past, you're never going to move forward, you're never going to grow or progress or anything. So it's just very important, like very important stuff. And I'm glad that like even though it's a film about superheroes, it's going through important messages, like besides, obviously choosing the right thing to do and being the hero at the end of the day, it's also saying like, hey, even when going through hard things, like look at these like people with all these powers and abilities and stuff, and they still have these problems. Like even the greatest, or maybe even the worst of the greatest, can do or can go through something like that and still come out on top. Like
Yeah, I think of
not
them
a
like the underdogs. Like they're there, but like I don't want to say like they're not that like important, which they are. They're majorly important. It's just that like a lot of people don't think about them or talk about them or anything. So it's like you
yeah,
know,
they're like I know what you're saying. Like they're not the originals, but they're like good enough to where like it it impresses people, I guess, is the simplest way I can say it honestly. But like again, like I don't have a problem with any of that.
no, like I'm excited to see them. I love underdog movies. Um, or like movies that like aren't like I don't know, like I like it when Marvel makes movies where it's not just like, oh, these big Marvel people or like, oh, it's the Avengers, but like it's like here are characters that you probably either didn't know or here are characters that you would like to know about, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, like here's the other thing too is a lot of people are stuck in the like older universe. So like or older times of the current universe, I guess I should say. Like
Yeah.
and that's not a bad thing. Like I agree. Like I miss Captain America, like the original. I miss Steve Rogers. I miss, Tony Stark. But at the end of the day, they're gone, and kind of like real life, sometimes you lose the things you love and you have to kind of move on. Like I'm not going to compare, depression to like losing characters in a story, but that's just kind of it right now. Like that's the main focus of, where to push from. So, but yeah, no, I don't have a problem. I did actually say this to a friend though. I was not as excited for Thunderbolts as I was for um Fantastic Four. I will admit that. Like I was not as excited to see Thunderbolts. Um but I will say this to get people excited if no one is, like, or if there's I'm sure there are people excited, but for people that may watch this or listen to this or whatever, like for those of you who may be skeptical, just know it does have an end credit scene that leads into Doomsday. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, that's the part I'm also excited for is for that part,
Yeah. So just bear in mind, like it's kind of the kickstart to one of the most important like stories of Marvel. Like just saying, like I'm excited, and after seeing the whole cast, can't be more than like I'm just excited. Like I can't really put it into big sentences or words right now. I'm I'm like literally just like stumbling, it feels like, or just rambling, I guess, at this point.
like
Which I'm fine with, but yeah.
like my okay, so it's it's hard for me to I don't want to say like, but like I guess like be super excited for it. But like with I agree, I am one of those people who do like old Marvel or Marvel movies like the old Ghost Rider or the original Hulk movie or the old Fantastic Four. Like I liked those a lot as a kid. Granted, I haven't seen them all that much nowadays, but
Mm.
like it's something that I do really like and enjoy. So like it's I mean I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go to watch the Fantastic Four movie with like low hopes or crappy expectations, but it's just like it's hard for me to adapt from something that I like really liked as a kid to like something completely different, and I feel like I might be a little too biased or too judgy with it.
No,
But
and I get that because like as a
it's like my
Spider-Man
comfort
fan,
thing.
like I grew up with three different Spider-Man. Like Toby was my first, then you had like Andrew, and then right after that Tom. Like I get that in that sense, I do. And I mean, again, like as someone who didn't enjoy the original Fantastic Four or even the one after that, like I can say like I'm more excited for that than like probably most of the other things, especially as a Spider-Man fan and knowing like who Human Torch and Peter Parker are like together as friends. Like they're like the superhero best friends in the comics. So I personally don't mind, and I'm glad we get to possibly finally see that, especially like because the whole Fantastic Four sees Spider-Man as like family, like, and the whole point of their team is like it's the first superhero family is from what I recall, like
Isn't
that's
I'm not trying to interrupt.
no, you're
I'm
good.
sorry. But isn't like the Doctor, like, or Mr. Fantastic, isn't like he like part or like a big part of Doomsday? Like he's a big part of that Victor Van Doom, right?
Yes, because Victor Von Doom is, at the end of the day, like,
He wasn't he
Mr. Fantastic's
like his best
nemesis.
friend? Before that, weren't they like lab buddies and they were like best friends or something? Like they worked together and then they like.
No, I not in the comics at least. In the comics, they were always kind of rivals. Like Doom thought he was the smartest mind in the world, but mathematically or whatever, like statistically, he was proven wrong. So now, in order to prove that he's better than Reed, he'll always fight him and think he'll outsmart him at the end of the day. Like that's kind of Doom's mentality. So
Okay. Because, like, from what I'm remembering, I think there was two or three Fantastic Four movies. There might be more. But like the newer-ish one,
I
like,
think that one was honestly the furthest from comic accuracy.
yeah, I was about to say because like in that one they were like Reed Richards. I think that's his name. I don't know. I might be very fantastic. Um, but him and Victor Von Doom were friends in that movie, and then like they found out what Victor's real plan was, and they like didn't like it. But then in the first original one that I was talking about before, they got their powers from in space because Victor had like he brought them up to space in this giant like advanced like spaceship or whatever, and it like I think it was like a black hole or some kind of like star or something
Yeah,
exploded, and they got like hit with the wave, and then like all their personalities completely changed, or Victor's personality changed. Like Victor was trying to hit on um oh what's her name
Sue Storm.
yeah, or not, was it Sue?
Yeah, yeah,
Like yeah.
that's who Invisible Woman is.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, again, like completely inaccurate from the comics. Like from what I understand, Doctor Doom has no attraction to Sue Storm. In fact, like I
He was
think
just playing like
his
a playboy thing.
yeah, I was gonna say like he's an egotistical playboy in the first two films, and then in the reboot, he's just this loner hacker guy, like who's this like intelligent scientist or whatever. He's kind of a douchebag, like from the get go,
Hmm.
and then he becomes an even worse douchebag when he becomes a supervillain. So yeah, no, that's all wrong. So in the comics, Doom's mom was a witch who was killed for being a witch. Like she was killed for practicing magic, even though she was using that magic to better Latveria, which is where he's from. Like she was trying to make Latveria a better place with her powers. So what Doom did was he learned both magic and science, and them combined called alchemy. And he uses that to better Latveria just like his mother, but in a more dictator way. Like he completely took over Latveria, killing its leaders, I believe, and then like taking over and completely changing everything. Again, not for the worst, because I mean he did make Latveria better, I
Okay.
would say. But then his ego got in the way when he found out about Mr. Fantastic. Like, Mr. Fantastic is the smartest mind on the planet, and, you know, he kind of wanted to prove everyone else otherwise. Like, he wants to prove that he's the better mind between him and Reed.
So basically, he just can't handle being like he. It sounds like he loves attention and he loves being better than everybody. Is what it sounds like. So it sounds like he's always just trying to prove that. I guess.
I was gonna say, like, he hates being number two. Like, he wants to prove that he is the best. So he always plays almost like a battle of wits with Reed Richards, you know, like, and that's, again, I feel like that makes him more interesting, where he's less, again, like typical supervillain, where he's like, oh, I fell in love with the superhero's love interest, or oh, I'm a typical douchebag that it has no social life. Like, I hated that they did that to Doom. Like, they completely undermined him. Whereas in, I think, Marvel, he's gonna be a lot like Thanos, where like his only goal is to protect Earth and, you know, protect them from threats outside of, you know, other universes or worlds or whatever. So I think what will happen at the end of it is, like, he'll use some sort of power to take over the world as we know it, and then, you know, potentially make it better, I guess. Like, I think even Robert Downey Jr. put it in more simpler words, saying like same task, different mask. Like, Iron Man's whole purpose was to protect Earth at all costs, you know, like he even says it in like Age of Ultron, and then at the end of start of Endgame, like, I wanted to put a suit of armor around the world, you know, like to protect it from threats like Thanos, but no one wanted to agree with him. Like, they thought, like, it sounds like a cold world, bro. Like, it doesn't sound like what everybody wants. And
Doesn't
Tony
sound
Stark's
truly
like,
safe, yeah.
yeah, like Tony Stark's like, it doesn't matter what people want, it matters what they need. And that's true to a point, but like, if nobody's happy, then what is the point, you know? Like,
Yeah.
because I feel like
Then they're
needs
just
and
suffering.
wants, yeah, exactly. Like, they're just under this tyrannical rule, which is, I think, what, you know, at the end of the day, Doom will end up being. Like, he'll be this ruler of the world, but in like more of a like evil sense than a savior sense. Like, he believes he can be the savior of the entire planet by ruling it, basically, like making the whole world like Latveria. Like, Latveria's happy, sure, or maybe most of it, or maybe none of it. I don't know. I don't actually know the social status of Latveria, but all I know is it's probably one of the safest places on Earth. Like, and in the comics and in like some previous TV shows, Skrulls were technically bad guys. And, you know, like, Doctor Doom was like the only one that knew about it because of his intelligence, you know, like, and because of his cold-heartedness. Like, he doesn't trust anyone. Like, and that's what I think makes him such an interesting character. He's like, you know, he was the Darth Vader before Darth Vader. Like, he was just this awesome villain. And, you know, again, like, that's why I didn't like any or either of the Fantastic Four movies. Not just because, like, they ruined Doom, but, like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure they're great movies as movies, but as, like, in terms of, like,
Accuracy.
accuracy and exploring the characters correctly, which is what makes me excited for Spider-Man 4, to kind of get away from Fantastic Four for a second, but to stay on Marvel, they just announced, because originally Spider-Man 4 was going to be a multiversal film, it is now going to be a down-to-earth film. Like,
that's
no
gonna be good.
multiverse. Yeah, so street fight crime, like street-level crime, and not only that, but it's going to be a soft reboot of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So that means he's kind of starting over, which is perfect, because as much as I like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, or at least his performance, like, he got the very geeky, awkward character, but also the quippy Spider-Man right.
Yeah.
But he's now going to be on his own, making his own suits, living on his own, just like Peter Parker / Spider-Man should be. So
No, that's gonna be cool to see.
I was gonna say
I
there.
guarantee you they're gonna go like in depth of like showing scenes of him sketching designs or making the suit, which I really enjoyed whenever um Maguire did that with his Spider-Man. Whenever he had all those sketches and different like tryouts and stuff like that.
I was gonna say I would not mind a montage of like him, yeah, again, designing suits or whatever, like whatever it takes to make the like movie great, but also again, yeah, like you were saying, explore Spider-Man's character like we've kind of always got to know him. Like he was this kid turned superhero overnight and like he had all these amazing powers, but then it was how he uses them that makes him such a great character and such a watchable and readable character. So yeah, no, I'm excited, and if that announcement is actually true, then I'm more excited. Like I was already excited because I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. I was like, if they do it multi-universal, I doubt it will be like, bad. I doubt, like I didn't ever think it was going to be bad. I just didn't think it was going to be the way that I think a Spider-Man film should be done, especially considering the past three films. Like I will say, again, I love all three films. Not as much as I probably like Spider-Man 2, like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2,
Mhm.
but, I still love him, and I still think Tom is probably the best interpreted Peter Parker. Like, I know a lot of people argue that it's Andrew, and I'm fine with that, because I think Andrew is a good Spider-Man. He's got the quippy, cool attitude as a superhero, but he didn't have enough of the nerdy Peter Parker that I wanted, Like I think that's an important part too. And that's kind of what I liked about Tom's is he wasn't just nerdy, he was geeky. Like he likes stuff like Star Wars and whatnot. So yeah, no, I like that they made him like a modern teenager. Like and I was the same age as Peter Parker when his Peter Parker came out. Like he was 15 in Civil War. I was 15 when that movie came out. So I was literally the same age as him, and that made him like that made it way cooler to wear the suit for like Halloween and stuff for me. Like I felt like I was Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Like I don't know, as relatable as he is, like
Yeah.
especially since he was not only a Star Wars fan but a Lego Star Wars fan, which made it even cooler. Like I got to see him play with like a literal Lego Death Star. So, it's cool. I like how they did Tom Holland's Spider-Man because
Yeah.
they modernized it in the right way. Cuz like if they modernized it where like, he was stuck in a smartphone all day or like he's antisocial, like which I don't think is true. Like I think he's just awkward. Like he wants to be social, but
He just
he's
doesn't know
bad at
how.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I
Like
think they modernized him in the correct way.
so like in terms of a character that I want to see come back, um I really, 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 did I say really? I mean really want uh, what was his name? Peter Parker's best friend, that's all Harry Osborn from like when he became the version of Goblin.
Okay.
I really, really want him to come back, mostly because like I like the way he was like with like his hoverboard. In my opinion, was actually really cool because it was like an actual like hoverboard type thing. Um, it
Okay.
was like a surf, like it was basically like Silver Surfer, but on steroid type of board.
I
I
was gonna
liked
say
it a
it's like a
lot.
techie version of Silver Surfer.
Yeah, in my opinion, was really cool. I really liked it. Like the way he was, like he wore a mask. I guess it might be like just a mask for me personally, but like the way his character is, the way he doesn't care, the way he rides. Like, did you see that one?
Yeah, Spider-Man 3. I
Yeah,
know what you're
like
talking
whenever
about.
he went through like the alleyway chasing Peter, and he like threw like that like pumpkin like blade thing at him. Like them just like going around the pipes and him jumping off his board and reconnecting. Like I just thought it was so cool. And like I don't think they're gonna bring him back, but like I really want them to.
If they bring him back, like I'll have to disagree with you on one thing, and that's the suit, because it didn't feel like Green Goblin. It just felt like
Well,
high-tech billionaire fighting Spider-Man. So,
I mean
and
he
yes,
couldn't
they're
copy his
fighting
dad
over.
too much though, right?
I mean, in the comics, he literally wears the same exact suit.
Oh,
Like
okay.
he wears
I didn't know
Green
that in the
Goblin's
comic.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead, though, I think it'd be kind of fun, kind of like what you're saying. But instead of Green Goblin, do the Hobgoblin. Now I know
I was
Harry
about to
Osborn
say
isn't the Hobgoblin, but
just
we have
Ned.
yet to see. Well,
Well,
Ned was framed as the
yeah,
Hobgoblin, and then the real
killed
Hobgoblin
him.
killed him.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of sad to see that, but I would like to see, yeah, maybe Harry Osborn as the Hobgoblin. I know there have been versions where he was the Hobgoblin, like in that 2017 run of the animated series, and I know that's not like the best example, but I think it would be kind of cool to see hooded orange and blue Goblin fighting Spider-Man. Like I think it would be kind of cool. So I think I will agree with you that, like, yeah, no, his tech and everything in the film, especially the sword, was really cool. But no, yeah, I don't like the suit. It felt like it almost looked like he was literally just like a snowboarder. Like his mask was just,
Yeah.
a face mask with goggles, and then yeah, his board was very, like you said, hoverboard slash snowboard esque. Which I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem is, yeah, they did his suit wrong, in my opinion. Like, I know he was supposed to be like the cooler version of the Green Goblin, but they could have easily done that by making him like what they could have even done is done, like, instead of the full Green Goblin mask, do his dad's mask, but it was like broken in half and it's just the mouth part, and then he just like it wears a hood or something. That would have been
That
cool
would
to
have been
see.
really cool.
So kind of like an Oni mask, like something like that. Like that would be cool to see to me, in my opinion. But again, I definitely agree with you on the tech, though. Yeah, his tech was a little bit cooler than Willem Dafoe's. But I do like the typical pumpkin bomb.
Yeah, like I just want him back. Like even if they like redo his costume design, which I feel like they most likely will, but like they do with a lot of characters that they bring back.
Oh
Um,
yeah, like even Willem Dafoe, like I liked his like old costume as a kid, but then growing up and seeing like the potential of the green and purple one, like yeah, no, I get why people want or like comic book accurate Goblin more than like, Toby or even Andrew's version of the Green Goblin. I did not like his
mm-mm,
Green Goblin at all.
no.
Like I think the insanity part of it, perfect. Like, yeah, Harry Osborn should have been more maniacal like that in Spider-Man 3. Instead, he was just girl jealous of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Like, he was just jealous that he had MJ, whereas he didn't. And I know that was kind of like a play on, like, oh, he probably took the right amount of dosage of the Green Goblin serum where it gave him the strength, but not the insanity. And maybe it did give him the insanity a little bit, because, I mean, he was literally just trying to kill Peter over a girl that didn't love him in the first place, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think or hope at some point we do get like comic accurate villain suits. But from what I understand, and for those of the people that have played like the Spider-Man games, I think you'll be pretty excited for like uh this new film, because supposedly the villain's going to be Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative. What is Mr. Negative's abilities? Because is he just I don't know. I don't know, I don't, okay, just tell me, because I was gonna guess, but it would have been 100% incorrect. So,
So he can like put energy into weapons and stuff, mainly a sword from what I saw in the games. And then he can also
oh, he's the one that
control
wears the
people.
masks, right?
He doesn't, but his followers does. Like
Like
he
he's the Asian
touches
dude, right?
someone. Yeah.
Okay,
So if
okay.
he touches someone, it can make them like fall under his control basically. Like he can manipulate their like feelings or whatever, or like even manipulate their cause and basically make them work for them. So, I mean, I think his powers would be cool to see, but I also want to see the hand to hand combat because maybe some people don't know this, but the director of Shang-Chi is
Hmm.
directing Spider Man.
Oh, that's
And
gonna be so good, because that movie was a masterpiece in my opinion. I loved that movie. The animation, the realism, it just felt so perfect.
yeah, no, Shang-Chi's fighting, like, choreography was so cool. So to see Spider-Man fight like that in, like, or maybe even just like Martin Lee slash Mr. Negative fight Spider-Man like that, that would be so cool to see. Like, you know, I'm freaking hyped. I hope and pray that it's as good as, yeah, like, maybe even Winter Soldier. Like I want to see like fight scenes like between Captain America and um Winter Soldier, but it being like Spider-Man and Mr. Negative or Spider-Man versus a Green Goblin variant. Like something like that. Like I don't know. That's just me though. Again, kind of a OG I don't know how to say it, but basically, I like the OG stuff a lot more than like
You
the
like, it seems like you like more comic book accurate Marvel
I
movies, it seems.
yes, and I will say I'm not as picky with costume designs. Like I know a lot of people were picky with like Hugh Jackman's like even yellow suit, and I don't see what the problem is. I think they'd made it as comic accurate as they could. Like I think they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And same with like Deadpool, they gave him a more vibrant red color. So like yeah, people who have problems with that, I don't understand cuz like that's probably as comic accurate as you can get. Same with like Tom Holland's suit. Like my only gripe is the back suit is the same as the front spider suit. And I know that's kind of like the trend for the movies, but I don't know. I liked Tom Holland's Homecoming suit because he had a different back spider from his front spider. Like, and I think, you know, like it's not important, but like his final swingsuit was perfect. Like, it was like the classic red and blue, and then like no weird random black lines like on the Homecoming suit, no like too much black on the suit, like the No Way Home and Far From Home suit. Just like perfect red and blue, classic webbing style. The spider is cool too. Like I like how unique the spider is. Like I think if they keep that suit, it'll definitely have kind of um a staple in the Marvel universe, but I do hope at some point they make it so that he has a consistent suit like Tobey Maguire. Like he kept like the same suit through all three films. Just like unless you include the black suit, but I mean, it's basically just his suit covered in black. So I wouldn't even say that's really a major difference. Um, but we are at a time. So Travis, you want to do our outro?
Sure.
Sweet.
So if you guys haven't checked them out already, I don't know what you're doing. But go check out his YouTube channel, Multi-Might, with a hyphen in between multi and might. Do not forget the hyphen. Trust me, it is way more important than you may think. You might think it's just a
Mm-hmm.
dumb little, oh, it's a hyphen. No, put it there. It's important. Trust me. Anyways. Also go check out his Instagram. He makes, I know we don't shout that out enough, but he makes really cool like art designs and really cool drawings and stuff, which I am really impressed by. Is also titled the same as his YouTube channel. Um, and you're already here for his podcast or his Twitch. Stay tuned because usually he makes really cool content like Minecraft or Call of Duty, which I like to watch his Call of Duties because I don't know too much about Call of Duty and it's good to keep updated. Um, and then, there's me. I have a YouTube channel. I don't use it that much because I have a problem with downloading content from my Twitch. Um, but I have my Twitch channel, Phantom Voyager, spelled the same exact way as you see it here on the screen. You guys can go check me out. Drop me a follow if you enjoy the content. If not, that's fine. That's okay. But, is there anything else you wanna say, or should we?
Just the podcast YouTube channel. If this is your
Okay.
first episode, we do have all but one of our previous episodes, so go check those out. And yeah, follow
Yeah,
Phantom
they're
Voyager, bro. Give him those follows. Get him up with me. We need to like be the tag team together. Like we're gonna grow together. We're gonna make basically our community one community. Like I don't even care if like we have like different viewers and followers, but if we're at the same number, like not the same exact obviously, but like you know,
around.
yeah, like I want us to be the next, group out there that people know. And like maybe that's egotistical, maybe that's a little much for people to hear, but I don't know. Like I think we can
It's
bring
a
a lot to
dream
the
that we
table.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's something I've wanted to do since like 2014 when I found out what a YouTube channel was, like stuff like that. But regardless, yeah, go follow him. He also makes some awesome Minecraft, Fortnite, and other exclusive solo Let's Play games. So please go check him out. And yeah, again, go check out our podcast channel on YouTube, Sense of Humor Podcast. But yeah,
Other than that, guys, see you guys on the next one next Saturday. So we do these podcasts every Saturday.
oh yeah, yeah.
So just if you guys are really interested and this is your first time dropping in for a listen or whatever, you guys enjoyed it, just put it on your schedule or whatever, and we'll see you guys next Saturday. So,
Peace.
bye.